there! Good to see you again! Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes! I can't wait to get started! So let's get started. This is what's coming up. There's a card idea to really shout about, and how to get some hot and dusty effects using watercolours. And there's inspiration in some unusual places for this big art attack. Now, have you ever been walking down the street, or in your garden, or in the park, and suddenly scares the life out of you, doesn't it? Well, I was even walking through the countryside the other day. Still, gave me a good idea for an art attack. Look at this! A whole squadron of them. Supersonic jets. Look good, don't they? Flying in perfect formation, and they don't rip your ears off as they fly over. And they're simple to make in 4 easy parts. A 4-part attack. For the first part, take a large piece of cardboard box card and draw a long curved line. At one end, leave a gap of about 5 centimetres and draw a second curved line that gradually gets thinner as you reach the other end. And then just join the lines up at the thicker end. At the thinner end, draw the simple shape of the side of an aeroplane with a pointy fin for the tail, a curved body and a pointy nose. And then cut this shape out. Then use this as a template to draw around, because you're going to need to cut out another 5 to make 6 in all, like this. Now, this shape at the bottom doesn't look too much like a supersonic jet at the moment, does it? You need to add on a few more details. Cut out some cardboard triangles and glue them into position on the side of your plane for wings. Then paint your jets any colour you like. Red looks good. On it goes for the main body. And how about some details, like a white cockpit? And maybe a stripe down the side. Make it look really fancy. And when the paint dries, add in some detail with black pen. Then add the details and paint all of your jets in this way, and you'll find it a lot easier to paint them now rather than when they're all stuck together. And they look good, don't they? So now you've painted them, it's time to join all of your planes together. Now watch this carefully, this is the clever bit. Draw around a mug onto some more cardboard box card. Cut this circle out, and then draw a second small circle about the size of a 2 pence in the middle of the card circle. Then the idea is to draw 6 slots between these 2 circles, so 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and 2 at equal distances on each side. Then cut these slots out and push a hole through the middle so that you can thread a length of string through. Tie a knot at the back, and then you'll be able to hang it up later. Then take one of your jets and push it into one of the slots about halfway up the curved card. Use lots of tape to hold it in place. And then do the same to the other jets, pushing them into the slots, and use lots of tape to keep them in position. And when you've taped all your jets into all of the slots, you'll have something that looks like this. Now all the jets are flying in formation. Now all you need is to turn this curved card into the smoke that makes all those loop-the-loop patterns in the sky. And for that you're going to need some cotton wool. Brush some PVA glue onto the curved bits of card and stick on pieces of cotton wool. Cover both sides of all 6 jet trails, and don't forget to cover over the card circle in the middle as well. And when you've covered the whole thing, hang them up in your room and they look brilliant flying overhead. In fact, you can make anything that flies go supersonic. How about supersonic fairies? Or supersonic witches? Or what about a supersonic Santa? Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho. Try it yourself, supersonics. Oh, other day I spent some time looking into architecture. Do you know, there are all sorts of different building designs. It makes you wonder where the architects get their inspiration from for their ideas. Look at this building in Dubai. Fantastic, isn't it? Can you guess what inspired the architect? Well, let me show you with a big art attack. Yet the inspiration came from the sail of the dhow, an Arabian sailing ship. Look at that. See the connection? Genius or what? A real architecture attack. Here's an art attack that really shows off some clever watercolour techniques. I'm going to paint some dust. Lots of it. In fact, I'm going to paint a dusty desert. Start by mixing a nice orangey wash and then paint in an orange sky. Go right across your paper like this, and it's a good idea to use nice thick paper for this. All the way across the top. And then just add in some more water as you're coming down. But just go halfway down the paper. Then leave a gap and paint in the dusty desert floor. Again, use bright orange for this. And while it's still wet, you could always put in a few blobs of light brown just to break it up. I'm even going to dab in a few blobs of purple for bushes and plants. I think I'm just going to also hint at a few plants with streaks like that. Now you must make sure it's really dry before the next bit. Mine shouldn't take too long in the hot studio lights here. So now you add in the dust cloud. Just mix a darker orange, or slightly stronger orange, and paint in a background mountain range just above this light area here, like that. And then get some water on your brush and paint another line underneath that's lighter. You start to get this sort of misty effect across the middle of your picture. And while it's still wet, I'm just going to blob in some purple along here to hint at some trees. And while that top bit is still drying, I'm just going to hint at a few more plants and bushes with some wishy-washy purple. Now here's where it really comes to life. I'm going to put a little bit more purple onto a smaller brush. Not too much, you still want it wishy-washy, but watch this. I'm just going to create trees disappearing into the mist. The way to do that is, as you're drawing the tree trunk, just add in a little bit more water at the bottom like that. One in there. And again, a touch more water at the bottom. And finally, just mix a wishy-washy brown and just pick out some figures in the dust. And if you do these figures or cattle, whatever it is you're doing, if you do them nice and light and wishy-washy, it looks as if they're covered or shrouded in the mist. And finally, what do you get in dusty deserts? Dusty cowboys. Good, isn't it? Try it yourself. Fade out a sky and create a watercolour dusty desert.
There you go.
Hey, how do you create absolutely brilliant artwork just by wiggling your finger? Watch this. It's all in the Art Attack gallery and it's your stuff. Brilliant. I really like this tissue paper kite by Pippa. It's so delicate and pretty. The different coloured shapes of the kite, the long ribbons on its tail, yeah, that'll certainly make it stand out from the crowd. And Ryan's Art Attack is a 3D Humpty Dumpty, complete with concertina legs and arms, all finished off with a painted brick wall. Brilliant. And this is a great idea for a picture, Alexandra. Cover your paper in wobbly lines, colour each different section, and you get this crazy abstract effect. Weird. Now, this is a brilliant mosaic by Chris. The colours are so bold and vibrant, and it just goes to show how simple designs can have a great impact. Ah, great Art Attack, Chris. Hey, it must have taken you ages to cut out all those little squares. Now, obviously, you don't have to cut the squares out too accurately when you're doing a mosaic. But what happens when you need to create a perfect square for your artwork? Use a ruler? Maybe a set square? Well, here's a really simple trick I can show you. Take a piece of paper and, starting at the bottom corner, fold it diagonally until it reaches the top there, that long side, and then press along the fold, and you should now have a rather strange triangle shape with a rectangle at one end. Then fold along the edge of this rectangle, like that, and then just tear or cut that flap off. I'm going to try and tear it quickly, and then when you open it out, there you have a perfect square shape. Easy, eh? Right, where were we? Oh yes, nice one, Chris. Now look at this. Tom's chalk pastel picture is full of big bold colours. It's a great drawing of a bird, and I think he's captured a real feeling of movement. Ah, how about this pencil crane picture of a tabby cat? This one looks like he's just seen a mouse and is just about to pounce. Great art attack, Hannah. And this is a fun abstract piece by Daniel. He's created an art attack using geometric shapes. Brilliant. And it's so simple to make. Just get some coloured paper and a pair of scissors and get cutting. And look at this art attack. Now Lauren's made a brilliant birthday card using loads of sparkly materials. I particularly like the silver party hat with glitter detail. Yes, great card idea, Lauren. Hey, I've got a good idea for a card. A yippee birthday card. No, not a happy birthday card. A yippee birthday card. Watch this. Fold a long rectangle of card in half. Then, open it out again. And place it face down. With a pencil, make a mark 2 centimetres in from each edge along the fold. Then measure 2 centimetres either side of the fold, and again make marks. So there's one over there, and one down there. Then join these marks up with your ruler to make little triangles. And the idea is to fold down these lines, and the neatest way to do this is to score them first. Whenever you want to score a line on your artwork, take your scissors and carefully wrap some tape around them to keep them closed. This allows you to safely run them down the edge of your ruler. When you've scored all those lines, you'll be able to pinch them neatly to make kind of hinges. See that? Next, on another piece of card, draw and cut out 2 arms flinging up in the air with excitement. Yippee! Open out your card and glue them onto the bottom half of the hinges. So it's very important, put them on the bottom half of the hinges like that. One there and one on that bottom half. And then bend one slightly back and the other one coming slightly forward. And when you close the card, the arms should hide from view. There they go. And if you can still see them, just reposition them while the glue is still wet. Then open up your card again and draw on an excited person, lining them up with those arms. And make them look really cartoony. Keep it really simple and silly. And when you finish your drawing, colour it in and you'll have something that looks like this. And as you can see, I've written yippee across the top and birthday underneath. See? Yippee birthday! Good, eh? And you can make any yippee occasion you like. How about a yippee Halloween? Or even, wait for it, yippee Christmas. And on this one, I've added a knife and fork to the hands. Or you could even make a party invitation. Try this, watch. Yippee! There's a disco this Friday. Try it yourself, a yippee card. And don't forget, you can check out the website for this and all the other art attacks in the show. And I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!